The 3 Championship Drive podcast is a Pistons podcast first and foremost, but congratulations to the New York Knicks. Not really saying congrats to their fans because some of them they have just pissed me off with the fighting, the comments, and everything. It's just absolutely crazy. But congrats to the Knicks. I have no animosity towards the players. They haven't done anything to me other than win a couple of games. It is what it is. I was right, predicted that the Knicks would win in 5. It feels really good to finally get a prediction right, even though I don't gamble. I didn't put any money on it, which I wish I would have now. I guess maybe I could have won like $100 or something. But yeah, the Knicks win. They took risks, and it led to an NBA championship. I just do want to say real quick, I hope the fighting amongst fans isn't the new normal at sporting events. Like, we don't control the outcome. I don't know why people are. I guess I understand if there's alcohol involved, things like that could happen. But the fact that it happened in New York, then in San Antonio, it's just like, dude, guys, grow up. There's going to be a winner and a loser at the end of these games. Don't carry the loser mentality outside the arena. Just forget it. Get in your car and or walk home. Do whatever you need to do. But like attacking another fan because their team beat your team, absolutely crazy. And I hope it's not the new normal. But back to what I was talking about. The Knicks took risk. They took a risk betting on Jalen Brunson being the franchise player when they signed him away from Dallas. Boy, did they hit. They took a risk trading 4 first-round picks and a 2025 top 4 projected first-round pick from the Bucks for Mikal Bridges. Like at the time, it was like, holy crap, they're really trading that much for Mikal Bridges, who, by all accounts, like I don't think he had the best time in Brooklyn. I remember when he first got traded and he was kind of doing his thing. Like those first 27 games in Brooklyn, he was averaging 26, 5, and 3 with 1 steal, while also shooting 48% from the field and 38% from 3 on 7 attempts. Like, yeah, dude, his first 27 games, and he was getting to the line 7 times, which was crazy. He had a great 27 games. And then the next full season, he was a 20 points per game scorer. Numbers kind of fell off just a little bit. And yeah, then they ended up trading 4 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. And they have gotten 164 games and 164 starts out of him. And he helped contribute to the Knicks win. The other risk was trading Julius Randle for Karl Anthony Towns because at least some of the Knicks fans I know, they did like Julius Randle. I know he wasn't beloved by all. You're never going to have that unless you're Cade Cunningham, which 99% of the fan base loves. But Julius Randle, I remember him kind of being the king of New York, and then they realized, hey, this isn't going to work, but we're going to trade for Karl Anthony Towns, who also comes with his own baggage, which was he's kind of soft, he shoots a lot of jump shots, he kind of gets small in the big moments. Plus, he was playing the 4 next to Rudy Gobert, and I think Karl Anthony Towns is a 5. I think that's where he's best suited. He's a matchup nightmare, in my opinion, at the 5. He's just like another all-star at the 4. But yeah, congrats to them, especially Karl Anthony Towns, man. With all the crap he's had to deal with in his career and just the noise from the media, the noise from fans, I'm glad he got the monkey off his back and won a championship. That was huge. I'm seriously so happy for this Knicks team. I thought it was really cool, too, that a lot of these guys, Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, they won a championship in college. They were college teammates, and they did it again in the NBA. That is something that is unheard of. It's really, really cool. And even if you hate the Knicks, that's still a cool moment. That's still a really cool moment. But I do think Pistons fans have to get comfortable with taking risk in order to win a championship. It's just something that has to happen. I've seen a lot of fans say, I don't want to trade this player. I don't want to trade that player because they're my favorites. I think they could be something. The thing is, if there's a better player that's available, and we're going to get into it here in a second, and I don't know, you can flip Jalen Duren for him, you can flip Ausar Thompson for him, but they make the Pistons that much better, wouldn't you want that? Other than just being like, hey man, I'm glad Jalen Duren is still here wearing a Pistons jersey. Would you rather root for those two and never win a championship, or ship them out and watch the Pistons go on a run and win a championship? I would rather see a championship. So Trey Murphy, the third, has officially become available from the New Orleans Pelicans. Detroit, along with Indiana, are two teams that are interested in trading for him. This comes from Mark Stein, and I think he also put in there that the package is going to be huge for Trey Murphy. Like, it's going to take a lot to get him. Now, if the Pistons do bring in Trey Murphy, who had a pretty good season on a bad New Orleans Pelicans team, it does not automatically make the Detroit Pistons a contender. They're not a contender with Trey Murphy. I think he makes them just a little bit better, especially if, like, let's just say you keep Jalen Duren and Trey Murphy as your third option and maybe can be a second option some games, depends on how much he's cooking or not. But, like, he does a lot of things well. He shoots the three ball. He hit 38% of his threes on 9 attempts. He's a good scorer. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of shot creation. Like, this isn't a guy that you're like, Trey, we're going to sit Cade and you're going to take over offensively for us. You still need someone else in there. You could probably, they won with Dennis Jenkins doing it, so maybe that's the move. But Trey Murphy, he can bring it defensively. He brings it on offense. Like, on defensively, like, he moves his feet well. He has active hands. Like, he's trying to stop the opposing player. I love watching him get out in transition because, dude, this dude loves to finish above the rim. I forget how athletic he is because, like, the only thing that I've ever heard about him is just his three-point shooting and his ability to stretch the floor. But I completely forgot this dude was in the dunk contest. And I was watching some highlights, and this dude is looking down at the rim when he's throwing it down. Like, he's a great finisher in transition. I would love Trey Murphy in Detroit. Now, you remember at the beginning of the podcast, if you've been listening this long, I said the Knicks took risks to win an NBA championship, and the Pistons will have to take risks to win a championship. I think that if the Pistons want to bring in Trey Murphy, what we're going to have to get comfortable with is that they're most likely going to be shipping out Ausar Thompson. I understand you can put a couple of players together and make the salaries work. And I understand Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver, they're kind of incompetent at these jobs. I'm just going to be real with you. I just don't think they're good at front office jobs. You can argue with me. You can tell me Troy Weaver, he's a great scout. He can identify talent. That's good. That's great. I just don't think he's a good GM. I don't think he's good at making basketball decisions. Joe Dumars, I was a fan of the Pistons when he was the GM, when he had that picture with two phones, when he drafted Darko. Like, I think what worked well for him at the beginning was he played against so many of these players. He played against Ben Wallace. He played against Rashid. He played against Chauncey. He played against Rip. So he kind of got a feel of how these guys play. Actually, I don't think he actually played against Rip now that I'm thinking about it. But either way, my point still stands. He played against a bunch of these dudes. He got to see how they played, and that's how he was able to make his decision. But he's been removed from how the NBA game is played. Yeah, he probably still watches it religiously. I get that. But I feel like some guys get a better understanding of when they're actually playing versus just watching. I'm certainly one of those people. So back to what I was saying. Even though I think they're incompetent GMs and they're incompetent at the front office work, I don't think you're going to be able to pull off a Trey Murphy move. You're not going to be able to bring him to Detroit without giving up Ausar Thompson. Like, I saw an article where the guy said realistic trades for Trey Murphy. And the realistic trade he put up was Karis LeVert and Ron Holland and 1 first-round pick for Trey Murphy. And this article was written like 4 or 5 days ago. And that's not a realistic trade. They're not taking Ron Holland and Karis LeVert for Trey Murphy. They're going to want more. I feel like you might be able to get away with trading 1 first-round pick if you traded Ausar Thompson. And I get it. There's going to be fans that are like, why do you want to trade Ausar? Look, I don't know if I'm 100% in that boat. Like, there's a part of me that is whose foot is firmly planted in let's keep Ausar Thompson. Let's see if he can figure this out. I mean, all he is a jump shot away. But then again, all he is a jump shot away. Like, how many times have we been told that? How many times have we heard that? How many times have we seen that about a player? Like, you can go down the list. Like, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Thabo Cephalosha, Andre Robertson, Matisse Thybulle, all these guys, if they had a jump shot, They would be great players. Okay, cool, but they never developed it. I don't know if I want to continue to look at Ausar and convince myself he's just a jump shot away. He's just a jump shot away. The defense is spectacular. He doesn't need offense. Like, he can kill it in transition. He might be able to hit a corner three. Like, I don't know if I want to keep telling myself that. But as I'm looking at Ausar Thompson, again, remember that left foot is firmly planted and let's keep him. But then my right foot is in the boat of Trey Murphy, where it's like, yeah, he's probably not a defensive player of the year candidate like Ausar Thompson is, but is Ausar Thompson a 21 points per game scorer, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 38% from 3, 47% from the field? Is that what we're looking at Ausar Thompson? No, he's not. So I'm willing to take the guy that's a 21 points per game scorer over the guy that's not, because even though Ausar Thompson's defense is elite, if the Pistons as a team aren't good defensively, it kind of doesn't matter. But also at the same time, in the game of basketball, in like most sports, the goal is to outscore your opponent. And if you're playing with a guy that can't score or do much on offense, you're honestly at a disadvantage. But if you bring in a guy that's, by all accounts, almost elite defensively, moves his feet, has active hands, doesn't gamble too much on defensively, can stay in front of his guy, but then also gives you 21 points and shoots 38% from 3, I think most of the time you're taking that guy. So even though my feet are, one foot is in this boat, the other foot is in this boat, I still lean towards trading Ausar for Trey Murphy. If I don't have to give up 4 first-round picks, but I just have to give up Ausar Thompson, a filler, and 1 first-round pick for Trey Murphy, I do believe that makes the Pistons that much better. Now, they may not win 60 games, but, like, does 60 games win you a championship? No. But if they're a 54-win team and a top 2 team in the East, or a top 3 team in the East, are we not taking that? That's still pretty good, right? Yeah, it is. I'm answering that for you. It is good. I don't care about the 60 wins because, like I said, it's a new season. Right now, every team has 0 wins and 0 losses. We're all starting the same place. But in order to get the team to winning a championship like the Knicks just did, you have to make risky moves. You have to take risk. You have to gamble a little bit. Or stay pat, have a rinse and repeat season after season, and then eventually we lose Cade Cunningham because the Pistons haven't done enough. I think if you ask Cade Cunningham, he would probably say the right things, like, man, I want to see my boy Ausar Thompson go. But if you told him, like, but I mean, if you trade him and you bring this guy in and it gives you a chance to win a championship, you understand the business side, right? He might answer a little differently. I don't know. I'm not Cade Cunningham. I'll probably never ask him that question either. But I am, again, leaning towards trading Ausar Thompson because that's what I think it will take to bring in Trey Murphy. I've seen a lot of discussion about Isaiah Stewart, and I don't know, man. It's a mixed bag for me when it comes to Isaiah Stewart, because on one hand, I see a guy that's one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. He's a guy that can shoot the 3 ball, even though he didn't really shoot the 3 that much this year, which kind of sucked, and his 3-point percentage actually went down. No, it actually went up this year. It went from 38 his 4th year in the NBA to 32 to 33, but he only took 123s this year, and I want to see him take closer to 200 because I think that's what he needs to do. I just don't want to see Isaiah Stewart in the posting someone up. Like, that's just really not his game anymore. I'd rather have him just shoot 3s and block shots. Is that really too much to ask from Isaiah Stewart? Can we get him back to shooting 3s? That's what I would like to see. But the discussion around him is, can he be a valuable playoff player? Can he be a contributor in the playoffs? Yes, he can be. I think he was a little banged up. Durability is definitely an issue with him now when it comes to the playoffs. I think he just plays so hard night in and night out that his body is getting broken down before the playoffs. And the crazy thing is he only plays 23 minutes a night. That is what is crazy to me, because like he's kind of already on a minutes restriction, so there's really no reason for him to be banged up. I mean, I don't know, when he was playing 32 seasons ago, he only played 46 games, but he started 45. This year he played 23, played 58, started 13, but he was 6th in Sixth Man of the Year, which I did not know about. That's crazy. I do think durability is becoming an issue with Isaiah Stewart. I think when he's healthy, he can be a playoff contributor. And that's why, like, you see all these teams like Boston, Oklahoma City, Miami, like perennial playoff teams that have been rumored to be interested in Isaiah Stewart. I think that tells you a lot. Like, that tells, if you're a fan thinking, like, can he contribute in the playoffs? Just look at who he's been rumored to be traded to and just say, if these teams are interested in, that means they think he can be a playoff contributor. It's just all about the health at this point. I don't think the other discussion I've seen about him is, can he improve? I really don't think Isaiah Stewart can improve that much. I think he is what he is. He's an efficient, undersized big who brings a lot of energy and effort. He has improved in the form that he can shoot threes now. But, like, I haven't seen too much improvement from his rookie year to now. I mean, he's just gotten... I mean, become a better defender, but he was already kind of a good defender as a rookie too. Like, he showed flashes of it, so I'm really not surprised by it. But basically what I'm getting at is I don't think he's going to improve so much that he's going to be an all-star one day. I think what we see is 10, 5, a block or two a game, being able to stretch the floor. That's all he is. That's fine. That's a guy that can help you win 60 games. It's also a guy that can help you win some games in the playoffs. But I just don't see him improving. Now, the other discussion I have seen is, do we want to see him traded? I'm not just willing to offload Isaiah Stewart just to say, hey, we traded him. I'm more of, if the trade package is good and it's going to improve the Pistons, and we're going to be looking at maybe a contending team if they trade Isaiah Stewart, then yeah, I'm all for it. Then trade him. Like, I feel like you can find high energy effort bigs via trades or free agency. Like, I feel like those exist. He's not the only one. So again, I'm not looking just to trade, but if the right package came along, that's what I would do with Isaiah Stewart. Then that's when I would trade him. Like, I'm just not looking to trade just to trade. That would just be absolutely crazy, in my opinion. But the discussion around Isaiah Stewart has been crazy. It really has. I mean, I just feel like this playoffs, like, now that we're more moved in the offseason, we're looking back on things and just saying, like, well, dude, we're complaining about Jalen Duren. Why don't we complain about Isaiah Stewart? It's like, well, I mean, Isaiah Stewart's not about to sign a near max contract. I mean, two different things here. Let's be real. I've seen a lot of fans, too, discuss whether they would want one of Kawhi Leonard, Tyler Hero, or Kyrie Irving. And I guess I don't know what Pistons fans want when it comes to trades. Like, you see all this discussion about, we need a shot creator, we need a shot maker, we need someone that can stretch the floor. But when guys are rumored to come to Detroit, the first thing I see is, like, I don't want that guy. He's too hurt. He hasn't been healthy. He's old. Dude, every player comes with pros and cons. Like, if you were to tell me that the Pistons could get Kyrie Irving and he's going to be healthy for 65 games and he's going to be healthy going into the playoffs, and I have to trade Marcus Sasser, Ron Holland, maybe a first-round pick, and I don't know, I'm not looking at the trade machine right now to figure out contracts. But, like, if I had to do that, yeah, I would bring in Kyrie Irving. Why wouldn't I? Like, I mean, again, if you want to win, you have to take risk. If Kyrie Irving at 36 years old means that you have a closer in playoff games, means you have a guy that can still score and run the offense when Cade sits, that's huge. Like, why would I not want that? So, like, the discussion around Kyrie Irving, Tyler Hero, and Trey Murphy or Lauri Markkanen or Jaylen Brown, it's just all this negativity all the time. It's just like, guys, like, there is no perfect player. There's nobody out there that the Pistons are going to sign or trade for. They're going to check all your boxes. You have to be realistic about these guys. Like, please. Like, I want to have discussions. I want to see a new player in a Pistons uniform. I want to see the Pistons get over the hump. I don't want to be recording this podcast 2 or 3 years from now and we're talking about Cade wanting out of Detroit. Like, I don't want that. I want this front office to make moves that are going to keep Cade here because he gives us the best option to compete. Like, I mean, but man, if you just want to sit on your hands and you don't want the front office to do anything, then why do you like this team? Are 60 regular season wins enough? Is that a championship? No, it's not. I want to see a championship. I grew up with the going to work squad. I saw the multiple appearances in the Eastern Conference Finals. I saw 2 finals appearances. I saw them hold the championship trophy. I want to get back to that. I want to experience that again. But we're not going, as fans, we're not going to get to experience that if this front office doesn't make moves. And I'm not saying fans' opinions sway a front office. That would be a shitty front office if they did. But like, to complain about every move before you see the results, to complain about every rumor before something happens, doesn't it get exhausting? Doesn't it get tiring? Don't you look at yourself in the mirror and think to yourself, like, why am I complaining? Nothing has happened yet. We're just having a discussion. That is all. By the way, I'm in favor of Kyrie Irving. I'm in favor of Kawhi Leonard. Even though Kawhi Leonard right now, I'm kind of cooled down on it because the whole aspirin thing or whatever, or aspiration, that hasn't been solved. So I am a little nervous about potentially making a move for Kawhi. But other than that, I would take Kawhi. I would take Trey Murphy. I would take Lauri Markkanen. I would take Tyler Hero on this team. Like, again, all players come with risk. All players come with pros and cons. But in order to win, you have to do something that's going to move the needle. And I think all those players I mentioned do move the needle in a positive direction. So every podcast leading up to the draft, my goal is to talk about someone I would like at 21. Now, I'm going to mention a guy. Now, I'm not a big fan of this guy at 21. I just think because he doesn't really do anything at an elite level, and a lot of his play is on like energy and effort and putbacks and this and that. I'm already telling you right now, at 21, I would not draft this guy. I think if the Pistons were not in the position they were in, I might be willing to take a flyer on him just to see what could potentially be there. But at the end of the day, I just think he's going to be a high-end role player in the NBA. I don't think this guy is going to be a star. He's certainly not going to be an all-star. He's not going to lead your team in scoring. He's not going to do anything like that. He's going to be a solid role player at best in the NBA. And that is Koa Peat. I've seen some fans really like this guy, just saying like, man, if he can figure out his jumper and he can hit threes, he's going to be pretty good. Like, I don't want to take project players anymore. He plays for a big. He's 6'8", 235. He was listed at 6'7" without shoes. So he is a little undersized to be playing the power forward position. I get it. We're in positionless basketball today. Yeah, so the height thing doesn't really matter as much as it did 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But, like, he plays 2 below the rim for a 6'7", 6'8" forward. He doesn't have enough athleticism. I mean, he's certainly more athletic than me, but by NBA standards, he doesn't have enough athleticism to be competing for rebounds. He does bring the blue-collar mentality, and I know a lot of fans are like, well, that's Detroit. Why not? Okay, cool. I don't want more blue-collar mentality guys. Like, I want skilled guys that are going to come in and contribute and have a role right away. Like, if the Pistons just needed a forward or, like, they were kind of complete all over the place, yeah, I guess take a chance on them. But they don't. Like, they don't have everything in place. I think his defense is bad because even though he can move his feet, like, he doesn't have great foot speed. I was watching him today, like, even in college. It didn't seem like he was overmatched, but it seemed like he was at the right level. Like, he wasn't, like, when I watched Christian Anderson, I'm like, dude, that dude's an NBA player. When I watched Koa Peat, I'm like, yeah, I could see why NBA teams would want to draft him. But, like, he's not elite on the interior. He lacks lateral quickness to be for perimeter plays. Other than doesn't have athleticism that stands out. He does have a big body where I think he can bang with some dudes, but he's just such a below the rim player. I don't see how he would effectively be a good defensive player other than understanding where to be at on the floor. But, like, he's not going to protect the rim like an Isaiah Stewart. Probably won't even protect the rim like Jalen Duren. He's not a defensive player like Ausar Thompson where he's going to lock down a perimeter player. He is unselfish. The things that stood out to me is he's a good passer. Like, he averaged 3 assists per game in college, which is kind of cool for a power forward. He can handle the ball in transition. It's very limited, though. He's efficient from the field. You can tell this is a guy that really knows his spots, and he's good there. He actually, even though he plays below the rim, he's actually a pretty good finisher around the rim. He is good at getting in positions for rebounds. He just doesn't rebound the ball at a very impressive high clip. Like, he averaged 5 a game in college, but he does use good position. He does have good strength. It's just he just lacks that athleticism to really be an elite rebounder. Like, that's one skill I feel like too. Like, if you're an elite rebounder in college, you're most likely going to be an elite rebounder in the NBA. For some reason, it's just one of those skills that's very transferable. I just don't see him pulling down 8 rebounds in the NBA. I just don't see it with him. I don't think I'm just out on this guy is what I'm saying. Like, he's I don't know. I'm just out on him. I was watching him and, like, I wasn't blown away. Like, he would be, if I was playing in the 7 seconds or less Suns, going way back with Steve Nash, he might make sense. If the Pistons had more shooting at positions 2, 3, and 5, I could see them taking a shot at a high energy power forward that's just going to love doing the dirty work. I could see that. And a guy that's going to make good cuts and just finish around the rim at a high clip, even though he doesn't finish above the rim. But that's not the position the Pistons are in. Like, if you draft him at 21, you're adding another guy that can't shoot the ball. Like, he only hit 33% of his threes. And, like, he didn't take a lot of attempts, but he only hit 61% of his free throws too. 62% if you're rounding up. Like, outside of 10 feet, I don't know what this guy does for you offensively. I just think it would be the Pistons if he was in the lineup with Ausar, Duren, Cade, and, like, Duncan Robinson. You're essentially playing 3-on-5 basketball on the offensive end. I'm out on Koa Peat. I've seen some fans be big on him because, like, they do think the potential is through the roof. Cool. That's awesome. I'm glad you feel that way. I don't feel that way about Koa Peat. I think he's an undersized 4. That would be better overseas. Anyways, thank you for listening to the 3 Championship Drive podcast. I'm your host, Lance Caporossi. Do me a favor, hit subscribe or hit the follow button. Leave a review, drop a rating, preferably 5 stars if you want to. But more importantly, tell a Pistons fan.